There are only 2 times recorded in the Bible when an animal speaks with a human. The first, a serpent, didn't go so well and got us into a lot of trouble. The second was when a caring donkey spoke to protect its owner, Balaam. As we remember Palm Sunday, we are going to have a conversation with Coco, a donkey who lives here at Kilgareth, Clonakilty. Coco is 15 years old and this is her partner, Charlie. Our thanks to Linda, who has got Coco all spruced up for today, because today we are going on a special journey around the centre of Clonakilty. The purpose of our journey? You'll see. Hi Coco, welcome to Clonakilty.
Thanks, but it's a little early, isn't it?
Yes, but we are remembering when King Jesus asked his disciples to find a donkey he could ride into Jerusalem. They probably had to get up early too.
How come we wanted a donkey? No one usually wants to ride us unless they have to. It's usually tall horses for important kings.
True, but Jesus was more like a servant king. You are gentle animals, and in Jesus' time, you symbolized humility and peace.
And was it peaceful when he rode into Jerusalem?
Not really, actually. People were shouting out in excitement and in joy. Hosanna, they declared. Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Rejoicing in his coming, they cut leaves from palm trees and laid them down under the donkey's feet. This is why it was called Palm Sunday. They even threw their coats on the ground before him to bid him welcome.
Was everyone happy to see him arrive?
No, not everyone. The authorities felt so threatened by Jesus' popularity that they labelled him a friend of sinners and looked for a way to get rid of him.
Where are we going now?
We are going to a lovely garden to remember what happened to Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane.
Look at the lovely daffodils. Wait, is that a Christmas tree I see?
Yes, this was put here to celebrate Jesus' birthday. But what happened in the Garden of Gethsemane relates to Jesus' death day. Being fully human, Jesus naturally wanted to avoid suffering and pain. Agonizing in prayer to God his Father, he resolved in the garden to trust God's will for his life, even if it meant going to his death.
Gardens are lovely places. That's so sad. Can I eat a daffodil?
No, but I promise. We will give you a carrot later on. We need to continue our journey.
Okay, where next?
Next we travel on to the courthouse.
Why? What happened there?
Jesus had been betrayed by his own disciple Judas, and he delivered him into the hands of the religious people. Death was now looming over Jesus. They put him on trial in what was like a kangaroo court. They wanted to find evidence against him so that they could get rid of him for good. So they demanded that the Roman governor should give the order to have Jesus publicly executed.
That's awful. Had they not seen him on the donkey? Surely they knew he had come in peace and as a servant king.
That is true, Coco. It's hard to understand. He was such a good man that they couldn't find any evidence against him until Jesus professed the truth, that he is the Son of God.
They didn't believe him, did they?
No. Even today, people find it hard to believe Jesus. He seems too good to be true. People expect God to lord authority over them. But being a servant king, Jesus isn't like that. It's not his style.
The style of one who rides on a donkey?
Exactly.
we going now? And where's that carrot you promised me?
Next we are going into the courtyard. This is where we remember another one of the isolating things that happened to Jesus. Yes, he had been betrayed by Judas, but now his close friend Peter was going to deny ever knowing him, not just once, but 3 times.
That's like my partner Charlie disowning me. That hurts. Friends means friends for life. I don't think I'd ever do that to Charlie.
Funny.
What?
Peter didn't think he'd ever do that to Jesus either. He was devastated. It broke his heart because Jesus had even told him beforehand that he would deny him, but he didn't want to believe him.
Oh, what else did Jesus tell him?
He told all his disciples that he was going to be killed in Jerusalem, but I don't think they believed him then either. That's why he told them that they would see the sign of Jonah.
What's that?
Jonah had been a prophet of God who was thrown overboard in a storm at sea and was thought to have drowned. Actually, God ordered a huge fish, like a whale, to swallow him, and he was brought back to shore alive 3 days later. This sculpture remembers the whale Boomerang, who returns to Ireland each year. Like Jonah, Jesus promised he would return back to life on the 3rd day.
You tell me that Jesus would die. How did that happen? Did he drown at sea?
Oh, Coco, this is the worst part about what humans can do to each other. Just a little further over here by the roundabout was the site of an old gallows, last known to have been used in April 1773. Those who were condemned of a capital crime were hung there to die. Jesus died a bit like this, but only worse. First, they tortured him with bony whips, ripping deep into his flesh, and then they crucified him, nailing him by his hands and feet to a wooden cross. There he would eventually die from suffocation.
That's not fair. Why is there so much injustice and wrong in this world?
Yes, it's hard to understand, Coco. Still, lots of people try to stand up for what is right, and Jesus' disciples, including Peter, did this in the end.
Why a cross? I have one on my back, and I kinda like my cross.
Actually, Coco, Jesus has transformed the cross into a wonderful thing. God used it to show the full extent of his love for us all. We now understand that, as an innocent man, Jesus died in exchange for us all. All our wrongdoings are completely removed from us onto Jesus. And by believing what God has done through the cross, we can receive total forgiveness and new life. The cross has become the clearest sign of God's love.
Wow, I love my cross again.
That's great, Coco. But there's more. Remember the sign of Jonah? After dying on the cross, do you think Jesus would come back to life in 3 days like he promised?
Friends keep their promises, don't they? Especially a servant king. That reminds me, where's that carrot you promised me?
Oh, of course. Here you are. Thanks, Coco, for helping us to remember our servant king.
From heaven you came, helpless babe, entered our world, your glory veiled, not to be served, but to serve, and give your life that we might live. This is our God, the servant King. He calls us now bring our lives as a daily offering of worship to the servant There in the garden of tears, my heavy load he chose to bear. His heart with sorrow was torn, yet not my will, but yours, he said. This is our God, the servant King. He calls us now to follow him, to bring our lives as a daily offering of worship to the servant King. Come see his hands and his feet, the scars that speak of sacrifice, hands that flung stars into space, to cruel nails surrender. This is our God, the servant King. He calls us now to follow him, to bring our lives as a daily offering of worship to the servant King. So let us learn how to serve, and in our lives enthrone him, each other's needs to prefer. For it is Christ we're serving. This is our God, the servant King. He calls us now to follow him, to bring our lives as a daily offering of worship to the servant King. Come see his hands, come see